Yesterday, we learned how to solve a system of equations graphically, how to solve a system by graphing each line and then finding the point where they cross, the point of intersection, which became our solution to our system of equations. Today, I'm going to show you a method that does not involve graphing. So you do not need a piece of graph paper. You do not need to get the equation into function form. You can just look at the problem, determine which of the two variables, the x or the y, is going to be eliminated and which one is going to drop out when you cancel these two problems together. Actually, not when you cancel the two equations together, but when you add the two equations together. So if you look at example number 1, when I add these two equations together, if I were to add 5x plus 3x, I would get 8x. If I add negative 3y and positive 3y together, they drop out. They're canceled. There is no longer a y in my problem. So then I have 7 plus 9 is 16, and then look what just happened. The y is completely eliminated from the problem, and now it's just a really easy problem. That gets us an x of 2. But if you remember what we did yesterday when we were graphing, our answer is always a coordinate or a point on the graph where the two lines would cross. These are both linear equations. So if we were to graph these, they're going to cross at one point. The number x equals 2 is not a point. That is a part of a point. So right now I have 2 comma something. I don't know the y. So what I have to do is I have to look back at the original problem, and you're going to write down one of the equations. I typically just write down the first one, the one on the top. 5x minus 3y equals 7. And now I'm going to substitute in my x equals 2. So I'm going to come up here and say 5 times 2 minus 3y equals 7. So 10 minus 3y equals 7. Subtract 10 from both sides, and you get negative 3y equals negative 3. Divide each side by negative 3, and now I know that my y is 1. So now I can go back over here and plug in the y is 1. 2, 1 is my answer. Now, since I already used this top equation here to figure out the y value, to check it, so this is a check, to check your answer, you're going to use the other equation. So if you use this first one to figure out y equals 1, then you want to use the second one to check it. So I'm going to write down 3x plus 3y equals 9, and you're going to take both the x and the y that you found over here. So this is your x, this is your y, and you're going to substitute both in over here as a check. So 3 times 2 plus 3 times 1 equals 9. So 6 plus 3 equals 9. So 9 equals 9. There we go. So if these two lines were graphed on a coordinate plane, they would cross, or they would intersect at the point 2, 1. Let's do just one more to make sure that you're understanding. If you notice also, I kind of keep my work into 3 columns here. This tends to help kids stay organized. So you're kind of keeping that as you work, that 3-column organizational system. So if you look, I'm just going to kind of put 3 columns that helps you to keep your work organized. Okay? In the first column, you are adding the two equations together. When they are added together, if you look here, I have negative 2x and I have positive 2x. Those cancel out. That becomes 0x, or just 0. Then I have 1y plus 6y is 7y, which equals 0. Then I'm going to divide by 7 to get y by itself. Once I get y alone, I have 0 divided by 7, which is 0. Now I have one of the two pieces of my answer. I have the y value. Now I need the x value. So to figure out the x value, I'm going to, again, take this top equation right here. I'm going to put it up here. Negative 2x plus y equals 0. And then you're going to sub in what you know, which is y equals 0. So I don't know my x, but I know my y is 0. So I get negative 2x equals 0. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. And I end up with an x of 0 as well. So now I can come back over here and say that my x is also 0. So these two lines cross at the origin, at 0, 0. And just one more step to make sure that you're correct, let's check it. So in your third column here, we're going to do a check. Our check says 2x plus 6y equals 0. I'm getting that equation from right here. This is my check. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in both of them. 2 times 0 plus 6 times 0 equals 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 does equal 0, and so it checks. So my answer of 0, 0 is correct. Those two lines, if we were to graph these two lines on the origin or on the coordinate plane, they would cross at the origin. Okay, time to do your homework and show me what you learned. Bye.